Yo, 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 this is Hugo back with another video. We having an update for the 500 to 550K challenge. This week was a rough one. And it was just due to not following the rules of the challenge. Um, and being very ambitious. So when it came to the challenge, I think the things that I messed up on this week was, for one, I would say holding the trade over the weekend. I was very confident in it that we were going to continue to see, levels up. So I did, but that was the first, mistake, especially doing a challenge like this. I feel like if you're just intraday trading and it's not like a challenge, you're just like, making money, it's totally fine. And in the past, couple of weeks, we've had hold trades over the weekend, and they end up, working out, more times than not. Of course. So, of course, I was confident in holding that trade over the weekend, but that was the first one within this challenge that I should not have done. Secondly, within this challenge, um, the greed has got to me. I think, when it comes to just me wanting to hit certain price points every week to shorten the gap of how long something like this would take me. Um, I think I'm just trying to shorten it so much that I'm trying to make as much profit on my winners as much as I can, because I know that a lot of my trades go for 300 to 400 pips, and I'm trying to maximize that completely. Um, and the reason why I'm trying to maximize that is because I'm attempting not to over leverage in the account. So that was another thing that I was doing that wasn't all the way there with my plan. Thirdly, at one point, I was like, okay, let's just capture 100 pips, because that's a easy accomplishable goal when it comes to trading at this account size. It's not a crazy goal. It's not a crazy goal to just catch 100 pips. Nas does almost 200 to 300 pips in a session. What a session that I trade, at least. So doing 100 pips is not nothing crazy. So what I decided to do is I did up the lot a little bit when it came to me executing certain positions in the market. Now, I'm saying that all to say we blew the account. It's blown. So there's a lot of critiquing that I have to do, when it comes to specifically doing this challenge. Now, when it comes over the course of the year, when I say that my confidence and got the best of me, is because literally I could count, if I had three hands, I could count on three hands how much trades we've lost this year. That's how like minuscule our losses have been. So out of the whole year, I could probably count less than this 20 or less losses we've taken this year in its entirety so far. So when it comes to confidence level, when it comes to executing some of these positions, I'm more confident, you know, taking these positions and risking, a lot more because of that. Now, where my downfall was when I decided to up my lot, I then sometimes wasn't satisfied with the price point I saw. So if we just look at some of the positions that we got in, this is the higher time frame, of course. As we can see, another thing, if I have to touch on the fourth thing, was we were in downward movement. The thing that kind of concerned me was, you know, waiting for Nas to make that push up, which I was looking for it to make this push up probably like a week or so ago. So of course we got this good sell down. We tried to buy here, got got pushed through, which we were supposed to continue keep selling all the way down to our area here. Price did elevate from here. So we started to see a little bit of consolidation, not really a great closure above, but we got a bit of a closure above this area. Waited for it to come down. So we missed this trade here, waiting for price to kind of show us exactly what we need to see so we can possibly take it up. We got a wick here, wick of respective structure here, thinking that we can definitely push up after we got this closure above. Hope you guys, you'll follow me. I know it's a lot. But so just based off of this structure, liquidity here, we got a breakdown of price. Boom, we missed the sell because we were being patient because literally price could have just sold to here and took off. But even though that was like at least 200 pips right there. So yeah, that was like no. Let me go from this area where we would have caught it. So we would have caught it from here. So that was 200 pips right there. But I sat on my hands and I was patient because I was just like, you know what, it can blast up from this area, and it could happen fast. It's indices. So I just waited and I was patient, and we missed out on like at least a good probably like $2,000, not taking this trade right here because it was a beautiful trade and it came all the way down here and tested these lower areas as well and took out everybody who was buying here. So because that happened, in my mind's eye, I'm thinking, okay, we could definitely buy, but still I was patient. So we got that wick here, we got that closure above here, and I still didn't execute. I put buy stops on top of this wick. We eventually was activated. I held this position just due to the candles that I saw that was forming. I felt as though we can stay confident in this trade, and we got wicked in here. We got this wick here, and to me, this was an indication of possibly buying pressure coming in to kind of take away some of this liquidity that was sitting up here. But no, I was wrong. We got this fat sell candle. Then we had our stop. I put my stop loss all the way below here just to kind of protect us from, any wick of price movement or anything. So even after this happened, boom, I was still confident in this trade. And then eventually we just kept getting sell candles, took us out. I was like, oh man, this is not good. So eventually, we ended up gearing up for the next day, and it was Wednesday. It's the middle of the week, still a lot of time to come back. At this point, we had lost about a good this trade. Yeah, I put a lot on this one. So this one at least put us at like 500. We were back at break even basically in the account once this position got blown. And then this position. So this position, I was completely dead ass wrong. Um, Completely dead ass wrong. We originally got into a position here. We got wicked out. It was a very small and light position, so we were still in the game. I ended up putting in another uh, one of my buy stops that I had here where it wasn't activated the first time, so it activated me the second time. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let this one ride. I let it ride, and I ended up adding more positions to it as price, developed. So adding positions, adding positions, and then we got this fat red candle, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was like a gut punch. Like basically, this trade here would have not only made up for this loss, but it would have put the account in a healthy position to where we would have made up for like the week before his progress. So basically, how I had it set up was 500 to 1,000, 1,000 to 200 to 2,000, 2,000 to 4,000, 4,000 to 8,000, so on and so on. So that's kind of had it in my mind set up. I didn't put that out there, because that can set it, unrealistic goals to somebody who's either just starting out or don't really know how to risk management properly. But I did go crazy on a lot to once price showed me that it was ready to possibly, move up and buy. And usually, with indices, once it starts moving a direction, that this can always happen. But because I was waiting for the buy so long, and we got, we got a wick, fake out, and reaccumulation again. I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna go to the top now because we not only we have this liquidity, we created more liquidity on the way down, and there's just so much liquidity I've had from prior weeks that I've been waiting for a price to collect. It just didn't end up happening that way. So we blew the account. The account literally has about like $100 in there. So it really sucks to be in this position right now, but it's okay. I'm gonna probably take a week or two to probably just kind of process exactly, how I want to execute specifically for this challenge the next time going around, just so my greed and things don't get in the way. Um, and usually it doesn't get in the way because I'm not trading, for income. It's just purely for the sport and the fact that like I love doing it. So usually I never have to like worry about my greed, but I don't know. It's something about, and maybe people like, Alex G or like, other traders who do these type of, challenges to challenge yourself. It was just really to like challenge myself. And not only just to see, to know that I can definitely do it because I've grown accounts, uh, way past that before, but just, to challenge myself, for the end of the year, I haven't done anything like this for the year. So, and I did do the prop firm, which was, a successful, thing that we did. We just didn't get paid out because the broker that we were with, they ended up, not paying out and finding excuses to not pay out, even though we did everything right. But that's why I wanted to kind of do this challenge live, to show you guys exactly, what it looks like uh, to do something, like this. But my greed, my uh, over leveraging, and my analysis paralysis got the best of me on this challenge. And the reason why I put analysis paralysis out there is because I was so fixated on the buy structure that I failed to see at certain points when my indications and or price was telling me otherwise. And that was something that I saw and I have to take on the chin solely and completely because I definitely didn't clear my charts, like I usually do. I kind of just like kept everything the same. I got like literally my chart is dirty from like 3 weeks worth of trading because I just been, I felt like it was like making me like locked in. I was just staying locked in and I wanted to like show you guys the charts as it progressed and keep my chart how it was. But I'm always a better, trader. And I would if you're seriously trading, I would take this advice from anyone, like myself, like always clear your charts, every week. To be honest, the next time I do the challenge again, in a week or two, I'm going to clear the charts every day. So, that's where we're at with it. It's an unfortunate, thing, but I definitely let, a lot of my greed get to me, even in winning positions. Like, look, this is a winning position here where we caught the trade. Like, look, like and I didn't even realize I was up 500 and something pips, and I didn't take it. I didn't take the money. I was just like, yeah, like this is gonna go further. Like I'm gonna, hold this. Like literally, this here would have put the account at probably like 3,500, just with the type of lots I had in like the trades. Did this this full TP being hit, like even like at 1,000, it wouldn't even had to hit like 1,300 pips. At 1,000 pips, we would have been at least at like 3K from just trading like and adding the lots that I added in that uh from that $500 balance that we had from this area. So put in a lot here, we went up a little bit, added another lot, we went up a little bit, added another lot, and then we pushed up a bit, and then boom, we got that gut punch. So it is what it is. We're gonna regroup. I'm gonna make sure that I, keep you guys informed on when I'm gonna be, doing it again. I'm just gonna take, a little bit of time to kind of woosah, after you don't want to jump right back in, because sometimes you have to just kind of reset your mindset on how to approach the challenge and just things that you should do better on. And when I'm trading, usually, always trading my personal account, but even when I'm trading like my actual personal account with no challenge associated, I trade a lot better, of course, because it's just, me focusing on that one trade. I'm not thinking of trade to trade to trade. I'm thinking about like just what I'm looking at this time and not really a challenge, if that makes sense. So, yeah, we're gonna regroup. Um, Really, to be honest, I kind of want to do it again this week. If I'm being strictly honest, but I'm just not gonna do that. I'm gonna be, patient and let my mind kind of uh, reset a bit. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, always feel free to reach out to me, whether comment below this video or reach out to me on the Discord. And I'm Hugh below, and I'm out.